Transit Smokehouse and BBQ is a family-friendly, award-winning restaurant situated in the 115-year-old Transit Hotel. This month, they will be showcasing their award-winning fare at Taste of Edmonton. Ray and Chef Ashish join us in the studio this morning to tee up what we can expect. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, everybody.
Thanks, Kevin.
Nice to have you in here early on a Sunday morning. Now, for those that haven't been, tell us about the atmosphere around Transit and around your restaurant and what you offer.
Yeah, so we've taken that 115-year-old building and we've tried to keep it as original as we could. It's stepping back in time. It's a really unique environment. We've got old pictures hanging on the walls that we got from Alberta Archives. We've got all the furnishings on our walls are things we found in the basement of the hotel.
Okay.
We still have an operating cigarette machine, as a matter of fact. So,
really? Like with the old ones when you pull the... Oh boy, I remember those from, well, a long time ago.
It's pretty cool. So we've taken that and we've just kind of repurposed it into a family environment. And you can come in and bring your kids. We've got live music most weekends, and you know, we just have a good, fun environment to be in.
Cool. That area's been under construction for a long time. There've been a lot of rejuvenation projects happening. What's it like operating in that kind of condition?
It's not the easiest, but however, we've got great neighbors around us. We've got people that do find us. We do great barbecue, and that's really what our main goal is. So we've got people that will drive in from outside the city to come and eat barbecue, and that's bottom line.
Well, barbecue smells so good, and it's always so popular. You know what we need to do? We're going to deal with Shane Blakely to fly over top, bag all the delicious smell of the barbecue flavor, and then sort of just scatter it around the neighborhood for you.
Bring it back.
You think he'd do that? He might.
You know what? He would. If I throw a beer in on it.
Oh, that's the clincher. That's the clincher for absolute sure. Now, Chef, you're showcasing your barbecue at this year's Taste of Edmonton. Tell us some of the things you're going to prepare, and maybe show us what you're doing here and what you're preparing.
So yeah, we train the brisket at a restaurant and then we smoke it. We have big industrial smokers. We got 2 smokers in the house. Okay. So as you can see, the brisket, we got a lot of fat on it. You see the point and the flat side.
Right, yep.
So we're gonna take most of the fat off.
Okay.
So this goes down on the smoker, so the fat side stays on the top.
Okay.
We're gonna take most of the fat out. So we'll start by here. You can see there's a lot of fat on it, right?
Oh, yeah.
We'll just throw it out. We don't need that.
And this smokes for quite some time, too, once you get it trimmed, right?
Yeah, it can take anywhere from 12 to 24 hours, depending on exterior temperatures. In the wintertime, it's a lot longer. We can do 20 to 24 hours.
And you have outside smokers?
No, they're inside.
Inside, okay.
Yeah, but even that cold outside temperature, when it hits minus 40, it's cold.
Yeah. So. Fair enough. And how do you know how much of that fat to trim off? Because you want to leave some on because it has flavor, right? Yeah.
Just need to keep like a 1/4 inch on it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's all gonna render out. So as you can see, this part here, this goes downward. So we don't want it to stay like this. We're just gonna cut a little bit off, a little bit on the edges, like on this side. If I could show that.
So really just neatening it up, making sure it's got that even layer all the way across to ensure that perfect flavor.
Correct. Yeah. It's about a 1/4 inch of fat that we try to leave on.
And how much of that renders off?
For the most part, there's 2 kinds of fat here. We've got that soft subcutaneous fat that renders out 100%. There's a decal that goes in between the point and the flat that you could cook it for 100 hours and it'll never leave. So we try to trim as much as we can of that out. However, we need to keep some in there to keep the 2 pieces together. Right. Otherwise, they'll fall apart.
And as we say, fat is flavor. You can't escape that. That's where the flavor comes from. You know.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Everybody says, "Oh no," and then, well, maybe just a little bit.
Absolutely.
So, how long does it take you to trim this out, Chef?
Maybe like a couple minutes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
If I'm fast, I can do it in 2 minutes. That's it.
Because the hands are professional.
Absolutely. Yeah. Stay out of his way.
And what kind of spices do you put on the top of this before you put it in?
Just salt and pepper.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, well, I guess Dane's sure will talk a little bit more about your barbecue sauces and stuff. Are they all house-made and house-developed? Really?
100%. Yeah. Okay. And we did that for 2 reasons. It's easier for us to blend together a barbecue sauce with the meat that we make ourselves, right? And I'm an old school chef, so I don't want to buy somebody else's product. So we'll make our own, and that's how we do it. So.
We are back in the kitchen this morning with Transit Smokehouse and BBQ. They're taking part in the city's most popular food fest as well, Taste of Edmonton. Ray and Chef Ashish, they've been joining us this morning on talking about earlier about what goes into preparing these wonderful big slabs of meat. And of course, we had the brisket going on. Kevin mentioned too with the sauces. I was really surprised about the seasoning that you keep it nice and simplistic, but you do add all of that extra flavor when it comes to the sauces.
Yeah, so we do our top secret rub is salt and pepper. That's all we use. We smoke everything with oak, so it's nice and mild. And we do make our sauces. So we make 5 different sauces, and the sauces we have from sweet to hot. And we have an Alberta sweet sauce that we make, and it's half Coca-Cola. It's our second most popular sauce. People really do like that sauce.
Really?
Yeah, and we do a Kansas City style, which is a bit more peppery. It has a bit more tang to it. Our Carolina Gold is a mustard-based sauce. And in the Carolinas, there's probably about 175 different mustard-based sauces, and they're very proprietary, so we make our own. We do a Southern Heat, which has got Tabasco and cumin that deliver heat there, so not too crazy. If you think pepper's hot, then it'll probably scare you. Otherwise, we're pretty tame. And then we do an Alabama white sauce, and that Alabama white sauce is our most popular. It's mayonnaise-based. It's cayenne pepper, delivers heat there. It's a late, long finish, so you'll eat it, and about 40 seconds later, ping, there it goes. And it'll give you a little bit of heat, but nothing crazy. People love that. It's our #1 barbecue sauce by far.
Can they purchase it from the Transit Smokehouse and bring it home?
Absolutely. We charge $10 for a bottle of sauce. So
that's a good price.
Absolutely.
And with that too, let's talk a little bit about what you have on offer for the Taste of Edmonton. What did you decide on to showcase?
Well, the brisket is our #1 item. And so we do our brisket slider, and we offer that. And then we've got our ribs, which are our second most popular item. So we do the 2 meats, and we've got Ashish back in the pit, slaving away and just cooking brisket and ribs for the next 11 days.
11 days.
Yeah. So did they give you an estimate on how much food you're going to have to go through?
We did it last year, and I think we did about 120 something ribs only.
Oh wow!
Cases.
That's incredible.
120 cases of ribs, so it's a lot of meat.
Certainly. So, one question I wanted to ask: do you have? It might be a bit silly to ask, but do you have vegetarian options?
100%.
Yep.
At the smokehouse?
Yeah. So believe it or not, we have a lot of vegetarian options. All our sides are vegetarian. We'll add meat to anything, but we don't put meat in it to start. So we've got a lot. My wife is vegetarian. I wanted to come into the restaurant, so we offer vegetarian options. All our sauces are vegetarian. They're gluten-free as well. We do a lot of gluten-free options. So our menu is designed to accommodate most dietary restrictions.
That's wonderful. And let's talk a little bit more about some of the other offerings too. You mentioned that we do have the sliders and the pork ribs.
Yep.
What else do you have for Taste of Edmonton?
The last item we do is a coleslaw.
A coleslaw?
Yeah.
So what do you element with that? Do you add a lot of mustard for your coleslaw, or do you keep it with more of a mayo vinegar base?
That's a great question. Top secret.
Top secret?
Gotta come out and try it.
All right. Well, let's perhaps maybe do a couple slices off of the brisket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to do a bit of a taste test? Because I'm a
Absolutely.
little bit jealous that Shane Blakely, all he has to do is send you a text. He rappels down from the Global One shopper, and you throw one up to him from the roof.
It's good to know people.
It is. It certainly is. And then how long, I didn't hear it, but how long do you smoke the brisket for?
Yeah, and when it's warmer outside, the brisket can usually be done in about 12 to 14 hours. As it gets colder, it takes longer, and it can be up to 24 hours sometimes to smoke a brisket. We don't hurry anything. Barbecue is low and slow, so it sits in our smoker until it hits 195 degrees, and if it takes 20 hours to do that, then that's what it does. If you try to force it, then it's just not good.
And then where do you get your meat from? Where's your meat supplied from?
It's another great question. So we source from a couple of different suppliers. Realistically, we try to support as local as we can. Ultimately, everything's Alberta beef, but sometimes we're getting it from Edmonton. Sometimes we're down in Calgary. Depends on where the pricing is the best.
And then when it comes to smoking, do you have, obviously you do have pork and beef. What about chicken, turkey? Do you ever get seasonal?
Yeah, well, you know, we do, so we do all the big barnyard animals, right? So we've got the beef, the pork, the chicken. A couple of years ago, we did a 12 Days of Christmas. We did a smoked turkey dinner, and that was kind of neat. And we went to the local merchants in the area and asked them to provide some gifts. And when people would come in for their smoked turkey dinner, we gave a gift back to them.
Oh, that's
that
wonderful.
They didn't know about. They didn't know it was coming. So it was kind of neat. So we try to involve community whenever we can in the restaurant area.
Do you do any other kinds of game? Like, for example, do you ever try goose, or are you guys afraid of the cobra chickens?
No, you know what? We try to keep it simple. We've asked people if we'd smoke fish or if we use different woods, and I won't do any of that. I don't want to potentially destroy the seasoning that's in our smokers.
You're curating it.
Yeah, you know, we smoke 100% with oak, and that's all we use. So I won't upgrade, or not upgrade, but I won't change things to a different wood, because I don't know how it's going to affect
that overall
smokes.
flavor, yeah. Well, we're back in the kitchen. Ray and Chef Ashish join us in studio with some of the delicious food that they have on offer for the Taste of Edmonton. And of course, another big question, do you offer event catering?
Absolutely. Event catering, we can cater off-site for up to 300 people. We do weddings, we've done corporate event openings. You name it, we'll do it. Backyard parties, it doesn't matter. So
you do like the fresh biscuit on a bun or something, where you actually carve for people as they're loading up their plates?
You know what? Everything it's all scalable. So we can do a drop off. We can do a drop off and then service, or we can we'll bring staff. We'll do plated service. We'll do buffet line. Whatever needs to happen, right? So
anything goes.
Anything goes.
All right. What we were watching when we were doing the news, we were watching Chef Ashish chop up some lettuce, because he was making his coleslaw that he wants to show us. Now I want to hear about the coleslaw. But first, I want to see you cut some of that cabbage again, because wow, you got some really excellent knife skills there, bud.
And Ray, you were saying that this the sauce recipe is actually your mother's? Grandmother's.
Yeah, the coleslaw is how my grandmother made it, and so that's why I use it. We use a lot of red cabbage in there, so it makes it look really pink. People were a bit turned off by it at first. They said, "Oh, are you putting beets in there or something?" Said,
beets.
Exactly, right? That's what I said. But no, it's the red cabbage. It turns it this brilliant pink. So it's quite nice, and it gives it a different bit of a flavor.
Like it.
Well done. You do it fast, efficiently, and even. I can't do any of those things with a knife.
Has to keep it timer, right? All the same.
And then, of course, you have to wash all of this delicious food down, and you do have on offer quite a wide selection for beverages.
We do. So we support the craft brewery industry in Alberta. We have 8 craft beers online. Most of them are Edmonton beers, but we do have Pinoca, and we've got beer from Calgary. So, but we want to support local wherever we can. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important that people know that. And craft beers are amazing. They're a bit more expensive than the regular beer, but well worth the money.
Quality. Can you accommodate large groups in your place?
In the restaurant, yeah, we're licensed for 150 seats. Okay. We do have a private dining room that's a bit more intimate. We can hold 14 people in there very comfortably, and it's a private room, so we have an actual doorbell. Once we serve the room and close the doors, we don't come back. And there's a doorbell on the wall. You hit that, and we'll come in at that point. Otherwise, you're left to your own devices, right? Oh, just don't break my windows.
Cool. So are these the 3 dishes then you're serving up at Taste of Edmonton?
It is. We've got the brisket sliders, we've got our smoked St. Louis cut rib, and our coleslaw.
And then with the sliders, will you have like a lineup of sauces for
100%.
them to give a little taste to?
Yeah, we typically bring 3 sauces. We'll bring our Alabama White, our Carolina Gold, and our Alberta Sweet sauce, because those are our most popular. And we'll put that on for you, and away you go. You have the best barbecue that you'll ever have.
Delicious. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And finally, just wanted to ask about with regards to being there. How long have you been at the Transit Smokehouse, Ashish?
It's going to be 2 years now.
2 years?
In December.
And how's it been?
It's been pretty great. I've learned a lot of things. Everything that I do is I've learned from him. Right? Because all my experience starts from this kitchen, from Transit Smokehouse. So it's been a wonderful journey for me.
And Ray, you have such a good group of staff members, you know, and Ashish mentioned earlier, it feels like a family there.
It is. It's a real tight-knit group of people. You know, I've been in this industry a long time, so I want to make sure that we're bringing in people that are personable. They can strike up a conversation at the table with our guests. It's like an old school restaurant. You know, you'll come in, if I'm there, which is typically every day, I will talk to everybody that comes in the restaurant, ask how their meal is. You don't get that in a lot of places anymore, and I think that's important, that personal touch is there. So our staff, they'll do that as well. They'll ask how you're doing. If you want to engage, they'll engage. If you don't, we'll leave you alone. It's not a problem, right? So
personal touch and delicious food.
I like it.
Can't beat
Seems to work.
And then days of operation, where are you open?
Yeah, we're open Tuesday to Sunday. We open at 11 o'clock in the morning for lunch. And then typically we'll close between 8:30 and 10 o'clock, I guess. It's a pretty wide closing. But if it's slow, we'll leave early. But if it's busy, we'll stay open. Yep,
as long as it needs.
Keep on carving while the people are asking.
Absolutely. 100%.
Guys, thanks so much for coming in this morning. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
It smells fantastic in here. Your food looks delicious. Good luck at Taste of Edmonton.
Thanks,
I'm
guys.
sure you'll have people lined up around the block to get into that truck.
We're hoping.
Yeah,
We're hoping.
So for as well. Transit Smokehouse is located at 127 Fort Road. For more information, visit their website at transitsmokehousebbq.com.
And as mentioned, they are taking part in this year's Taste of Edmonton. It runs from July 18th through to the 28th at Sir Winston Churchill Square. For more information, you can get your tickets. Visit them online at tasteofedm.ca.